Alright, everybody, welcome back to another channel anniversary. It is I, Xilestar, and today we're celebrating our fourth year, I believe. Or third year, sorry. Yeah, a third year. I think. I'm not 100% sure if I did do one and called it the third one. I'm not quite sure, but we should be on our third one. Anyway, so I promised a long time ago, probably back when we did probably back when I did the channel anniversary for Revacraft slash Rosaria base kind of thing, where I would show off the Minecraft build that I created that actually made me want to stop building in Minecraft, or at least stop building like unique things anymore. So these aren't it, by the way. These are just because like sometimes I got bored while working on the base and I wanted to do something really random and then something would come to mind while I was doing it. Then I'll be like, I should probably add that now. So let's get started. So here is the creation that pretty much made me want to stop building in Minecraft. And you'll see something in the background. I'll get to that in a second. So here's what it is. Uh, it is literally the one thing that actually made me want to stop building cool, unique structures inside of Minecraft in general. The reason why is because this is packed with a ton of rooms and just overall just random stuff that I could think of off the top of my head, and then I even looked online for like other things that I could put in here. Then by the time that I think 1.13 came out or something like that, I was about done building anything brand new. So yeah, this thing drained a bunch of stuff. So how did this mountain or whatever came to be? I loaded up an amplified world, wanted it on a laptop that wasn't very powerful, so I wanted to see how well it could handle it. And I found an island. Now I was a very foolish person and only grabbed a specific chunk. So I think most of this ground area is actually placed by me, but some of it is not. So yeah, this isn't actually what the full height of it was. So unfortunately, I didn't grab the full island, but and I do still I think have the original island somewhere. I just don't know where I have it. So this is like all of the me just like adding stuff to it and all that stuff. So all the way up until this very line right here is entirely unique, or is entirely from the original structure. Anything higher than that was placed by me. That is it. So as you could probably already tell, this version has barriers attached to it. Are they safe barriers? No, they are not. So this is built on the how I used to do barriers, which was that as long as I ended up just covering a block with it, I was completely fine. You could probably tell by this little very corner right here. This corner block of grass will definitely get blown up because of the fact that like there is not a barrier block right here. So yeah, so I'm not gonna bother doing that anymore or going through this because guess why? Because I'm not even gonna use this. And this version is pretty much identical to that one, except for this one doesn't need barriers because it is made out of obsidian and bedrock. So this was the version that I was working on uh, mostly, and then I changed it to dirt and grass later on in its. I don't want to say development, but that's pretty much what it looks like. So, like again, like nothing's different here. It's just this. Yeah. So like there's nothing different about this one. It's just like it's just obsidian and bedrock. That's the only difference. But I can't find out the right exact version that I started working on this. The closest that I know of is uh, Minecraft 1.6 or Minecraft 1.5. So pretty much right when repeaters first got it released, or right when horses got released. So it's between one of those two, because of the fact that like, well, there is a horse stables right down here, and because I use repeaters in this, and because during the first thing that I worked on this mountain, pretty much, what I was using repeaters. So yeah. Anyway, so let's actually go through this. We're gonna go through it by how I am sort of meant to show it as. So there is a total number of, I believe, 6 floors. There's 2 basement floors, and there is like 4 floors. So this is the main floor, of course, and then like down here is like the base, like basement 1, and then down here is basement 2, kind of thing. So we're gonna go through some of the, I don't want to say hidden rooms, but some of the hidden areas too. So let's just go through like some of the outside areas first, and then we'll sort of work our way around. We'll go through this version because this one's a lot nicer. So over here we have 2 horses. I was messing around and I found Dinnerbone was something good, and Zephyr, which is my really really fast. Oh, it's not fast anymore. Was supposed to be my really fast horse because I was using potion effects. So I was messing around with that, and we were able to zip on by, and it was difficult to get Zephyr back on here. Over here is another way you can enter into the island. There's supposed to be a button here, but I guess not. This is just a guard tower. And then down here, I believe there's nothing. Yeah, this was supposed to, I think this was just another, yeah, this is like if you died kind of thing. You can get your stuff, and then you can kind of just leave and go down the staircase and then go out. And there's one area over here in which that we can actually go through. There's nothing over here. It's just this area now. So right before you even get to enter, here's a little tour book from my account a long time ago. So over here is where you would write the coordinates of the base kind of thing, but that's what it was on its original world, I'm pretty sure. And then down here we have all of the different things for everything that you would want in here. So like all the teleport signs and stuff like that. Oh yes, there is a teleport room. I don't know if it works. And here's all of the like the creative mode stuff. Both of them. I don't know why their boat chests are differently named. Weird. And yeah, so like that's just what this area is just like a hidden little tower that you can store stuff. Oh, this was supposed to be for the shulkers. Yeah, and then here's all that stuff. All right. Oh yeah, the different kind of bows and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't need to take anything from here because I've already taken all the stuff from here, and Rosaria Base already has it. And because the new thing that I'm working on for the next version of Minecraft, or Circlecraft, I mean, already has an extra copy of every item that's in here, so I don't need to worry about those kind of stuff anymore. Over here is another little watchtower that leads you to both sides. And you can actually go up this area, and you can go up to this exit or entrance, depending on how you look at it. So yeah. Both doors are supposed to be closed, but it doesn't really matter. And over here is something that I was working on when I was bored, which is a little like rebel hideout kind of thing, where you, like someone who would, or not rebel, but more of like a thief hideout kind of thing, where yeah, you can clearly tell that they've been stealing stuff, right? They would sleep here and then they would steal this stuff. Give me a second. This is a bit too loud. I turned it up just because I wanted to actually hear something instead of not hearing anything. And you can also flip the switch, and it'll actually hide the water that's going down. So though, like, people that are down here are going to be like, there's no waterfall, like, you don't see one, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, there's a waterfall here. Yeah. So let's take the tour book, because we want to get a tour of the place. I'm joking, we don't really need the tour book, but That's what you would normally kind of grab here. All right, so over here, you can see that there's a very dark hallway down this area. If you flip the lever, you don't really get to see it very well. Okay, I'm gonna break this. It sort of lights up very slowly. It's very cool. I like it. It looks really nice. I love it. Just destroy that. All right. So let's start with this area over here, then we'll work our way around. So over here we have the dyeable blocks room. So this has like every dyeable block, so beds, boom, wool, and this is what I used to do originally with item frames, is that I would put a sign that has the name of the item. So they're like, you just put your cursor over it and you see a little pop-up that says like what's actually in there. So like if you were if like this was a shop kind of thing, you go, I'm looking for carpets. Oh look, he has every color carpet in here, and then so on and so forth. That's what this area is. Over here is the auto dispensary room. So if you wanted to put like let's say you wanted a what do I have? Okay, let's say you wanted a bottle of enchanting to be constantly dispensed into you. If I could ever find out where it is located. There we go. Alright, so let's say I wanted a bottle of enchanting. What would happen is that the person behind this little counter would click that button. I'm not going to click it. Because I have no idea if it'll actually work the way I wanted it to. Oh, I actually do have some in there. Awesome. But they would be teleported into here, and then what would happen is that they would chuck this into here. They would chuck that in there, and then they would grab one of these redstone torches. The rest of the stuff is just in case one of them breaks in here. And this is the torch that they would use. They would just do that. And there you go. And that's pretty much it. And then what the person inside would do is that they would keep an eye out on the thing, kind of thing, or they would go back to their little desk, and then once they start hearing the clicking, they'd go back, and then they would break it, and put it back, and then say, "All right, sir, you're done," kind of thing. That's all that this room is supposed to be for, though. So yeah, that's all that this room is for. It's just mostly just like for that kind of stuff, though. But if there was ever any like new items kind of thing that you could like dispense onto yourself, like potions or something like that, that gave you like special effects, you could go here. And then of course there's a sign saying like warning, firing range. And over here is a little extra storage of that little closet area. I got really confused at this area because this was actually originally where my original teleport area is, which means that this version is using the newer one, so I know where that is. But the teleport for this area is not like Rosaria based, where it is based off of like where the block is, and it moves the player towards where it wants it. This actually takes the coordinates. So it actually grabs what this. So I actually grab what this is, and that's where it teleports you, which is a problem because if you teleport to a different, because if you put this in a new world, it's going to teleport you to those coordinates, which is a problem. But it was because like I found out that you can do it that way once, and I couldn't find it again, and then I found it again later on. So here's the emergency medic room. So the emergency room or the medic room, pretty much. So like if you're ever like I don't know, like injured, yeah, there's a bunch of regeneration potions in here, and there's a bunch of healing potions over here. Obviously, there would be like cabinets filled with stuff over here, like different medicines and stuff like that. But it's Minecraft, you got to go like in towards the basic kind of thing. But yeah, that like I would go a little bit more overboard in here just to make it look like it looks more like emergency room-ish. But there was not really much I could do in this area. I did do that though. That was all me. Very cool. Then emergency food, just so you can get back your food. And I think that was just for potion ingredients and stuff like that. And then this is just to cook food. This will do last. Over here is the auto smelter area. So this has, I think, one of these has, yeah, has a bunch of iron in here. So this was the one of the, I don't want to say the original, but how I used to do the auto sword or auto furnace system, where I would just put like a chest and then a large chest up here, chest, and then I would have hoppers leading down to the furnaces, and then have hoppers leading out into a giant large chest. It's not the best system, but it does work, and this one has two of them, just so that you could work on like 4 items at once. And because this is 1.12, you only have one furnace type. You don't have like 3 of them like in 1.14. Over here's the enchanting room. You don't need 3 enchanting tables, but eh. And over here should be a bunch of lapis. Because of the newer version, you need lapis to do it. Other than that, that would have like enchanted books and such. Over here is the trash room. So like if you don't need something, like let's say this barrier block, we don't need it anymore. You just throw it in there and it's gone. That's all that is. Over here is the armor display room. So you display different kinds of armor. Diamond is missing because it is more. It was because it is 1.12. Diamond was the best armor. You wouldn't want to really display that. So yeah, because being able to display diamond armor is going to make people want to steal it. So obviously you wouldn't display it. And here is a kitchen. This was back when I was using different colors for this kind of thing. I'd normally use I'd use quartz instead of iron, and I try and use a different kind of black block in order to do it. Now I'd probably just use concrete, but yeah. That's what this is. This is a little chef's outfit. Not really the greatest because leather has the little thing where it still has a little bit of brown in there, but hey, you know, gotta make do with what I could. And here's a bunch of blocks of coal. Yeah. And over here is a stone generator. Now, this is actually a very bad one. I mean, it works. It's just not the greatest. So I'll show you what I mean. So here's how it works. You break this block, and it still pushes you. And then when you break it, the water still pushes... Like, the water pushes you, and then you have to... It's not the greatest, but it works. It kind of gives you stone, like as you can see. It still gives you stone. It's just not very efficient, but you know, it works. And now we've gone back, so we've gone through the entire area. So now let's go down the stairs. This one's a bit weird, so we'll go over here, then we'll kind of loop into here, then we'll kind of loop over there. So over here is that little watchtower area that you can... Oh, wait, that's right. Yeah, this one you can't enter from the other side. Somebody has to let you in. That's how it worked. And then over here you can see, like, it's like, oh, I'm watching that watchtower, and then... I don't know. Anyway. This used to be the brewing area. The original brewing area. And then I kind of just ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to go make... this area, and then I kind of just went, you know what, this area no longer needs to be the alchemy room, so I ended up moving it to somewhere else, and it has its own area now, and it's much better. Over here is the lounge. Very, very nice. Looks very cool. I like it. And over here is the mushroom farm. So this actually does work. It's not the greatest, but I mean, it does get its job done. So all I need to do is keep one block in the middle, because I am weird like that. And these will slowly like spread over time. Now I can't use torches because the mushroom would break and you're not going to be able to farm them. So you have to use redstone torches, which create just enough light so that way though no mobs can spawn in here. And yet the mushrooms can still grow. And then here's where you would store the mushrooms. Over here is the map room, obviously empty because this is just whenever you end up moving this into a world. And here is all the empty maps that you can use. There is a secret area in here, which is supposed to contain an invisible horse, but of course is not here because either the horse died or it got despawned for some odd reason. And here's another exit that you can have in order to go out. It is very sad. Anyway, over here is two levers that lead you to the sapling vault and the flower vault, which are both open, I believe. Yes. There you go. So I'll leave the sapling vault open, and I'll tell you what is actually the sapling vault. Well, sapling vault should be easy. So this was built under the premise because I was watching a show that had something like this, and I thought, hey, that's a very interesting idea. I should probably go do that. So I got this idea from a TV show that there was a bunker that has a copy of every flora in the world. Now, I'm not saying like this show was unique and it was the only show that did it. I'm pretty sure there's probably a real world equivalent to it, but this was my interpretation of having it in this island or this mountain pretty much. So it contained every flora that is pretty much like flowers and I think dead bush as well. Yeah. From here, I didn't count leaves or anything like that because, well, I have a sapling vault for that. But yeah, this was just more so called the flower vault for that reason. Over here is the cobblestone generator. This is my third version of making one. So what the third version does is that it has hoppers in here. It has a hopper right down here that leads you straight into this chest, and it has another one that you can maybe kind of make out. Yeah, maybe. You can kind of see it right there. What happens is that that hopper right there will send it over to this chest. And so what happens is that when you break it, it'll generate this. So even if it goes into the lava, there's about maybe, if I don't know the actual percentage, but like I'm going to say 50-50 chance that like it'll go there, it'll hit the lava, but it'll be enough for the hopper to pick it up and then put it in here. And then over here is a bunch of pickaxes that have Unbreaking 100. That's all that's in here. And then there's a sign over here that says, like, all chests are for cobblestone unless a sign says otherwise. So since this says pickaxes, this is for pickaxes. The rest are for cobblestone. Very, very simple. And here's another version of my, what I called my like toolbox area, because this kind of just gave me like every item that I needed in order to fix an area. We'll do this on our way out. Over here is the reading room. And over here is just a tiny library. Oh, I didn't put stairs here for chairs. That's interesting. All right. And over here we have wool storage. So again, you could probably use this as a store. I originally put these, and then I thought that that might be a bad idea. So I ended up just putting this here. I think this came first before the upper area came to be. So this was mostly just storage of those blocks. And then because I am a visual person, I decided to use the item frame on the chests first. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't really tell you what the block's name is when it's placed in there. And I thought that was a very weird mechanic. So that's why I ended up just doing this. And over here is the obsidian generator. Now, I did hear that there was a version that allowed you to use string as an extra way of making obsidian. So what would happen is that the lava would, I think, hit the string and it would create obsidian. I don't remember exactly what it was, but unfortunately, by the time that I ended up building this room, that got patched. So here's what it does. Oh wait, so you have to click this button, which will give you a bucket of lava. You right-click this, and then I think you're supposed to click this, which would get rid of the empty bucket, I think. And then what you do is you click this, and then you grab another that blah, 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 and then keep rinsing and repeating. Anyway, we're going to take a little shortcut because, or no, not really, because here's the reading room. That's what I meant by shortcut. Anyway, over here is the store. So it looks very nice. It's very cozy. And then you can go in the little back room if you actually work here, and you can go to the storage areas, which we're not going to do. I think that leads you to the giant teleport room, which allows you to teleport to every room in here. Over here is the pool supply, so stuff that keeps you alive underwater and water breathing. And here's the little pool area. It looks very bad, but the only reason why it's this bad is because without these glowstone, you can't see. That's the only reason why. If you could see, a whole different story. And we're going to go to the final 3 rooms. So over here is the study area. The old little computer design, a little bookshelf with a little thing on top. Because there is some ones that have like a special design on top. Obviously, you can't do it in Minecraft, so I just decided to just do this kind of thing because it looked really nice. And yeah. And then over here is the painting room. So like you have different color banners just as used as your basic thing. And then over here is where you would actually start painting them kind of thing. I don't know. And over here is the fishing areas. This is the fishing room. So it's not an AFK fishing spot. I could probably end up putting one in here if I really wanted to. And if you actually can, if you actually notice, you can actually go from the pool room over to here, which is very cool. Obviously, that wouldn't be very realistic. Anyway, down here, we're going to go through this little hallway so that we don't have to worry about it at all. So over here, we have the end portal, which actually is a functioning end portal. I don't know if the dragon has been slain, but we're not even going to worry about that. And here's where you could store like some stuff in there anyway. The dragon shrine, so the dragon egg shrine, look at that. Beautiful. I don't know if that's actually from this world or if that's just like a random one I just middle clicked and then, or just searched dragon egg and just put it in there. The dye storage. I don't think this actually had anything. Yeah. And here's the stained glass storage. This was created rather early in the actual creation of the island or mountain. I'm just gonna say mountain, because of the fact that like it was like I had a very like long hallway, and I was like, sure, we'll do this, and I can't go any further back here because that's actually where the shrine is. So I had to make it really long and in a really tiny room. So I thought that this would be perfect for this kind of stuff. And over here is the giant farm area. So this has had, I think, 3 different versions. And the reason why was because of the fact that at first it was an open area. So like this wasn't here. This line wasn't here. This little chunk isn't here. This chunk isn't here. And this chunk isn't here. But just like in Rosaria Base or Reva Base or RevaCraft or whatever you want to pretty much put it as, the room looked too big. And when you're looking at the other side and you're like, I don't feel like going there. Like it's too far away. Like it's just, that's why I put the wall here, just so that like it looks like it's a separate room and it tricks the mind into thinking, oh hey, I gotta go through this area and then poof, I'm over here kind of thing. Plus I ended up using this as an extra storage room for different kinds of plants. So as you can see, we have wheat here, we have carrots, we have potatoes, and over here we have the melons and pumpkins. Now this one has shrunk down, I think, twice because of this dramatic change. This was probably one of the most recent changes was beetroot, because beetroot didn't come out until I think 1.9, I think. So yeah, so this was one of the newest changes kind of thing. And then sugarcane, of course. And don't worry, there's more farms, but we're going to go through this sapling vault first. So this is the sapling vault. Here's a thing to store all the different kinds of saplings. And what you could do is, this has had different versions, but this is the current one for this one. There is a different version that actually allows you to use all of them, but unfortunately, this version, you cannot use 4 jungle saplings because it won't grow, but you can use other saplings. So you can use a normal jungle one, it'll be fine. You can't use the Podzol spruce tree one because again that falls under the jungle one, but I don't think you can grow it in this version, so don't worry about it. But you can grow dark oak, which is one of the coolest things that I thought that I could actually put in this room. Like, see, like it's just enough. It's just tall enough that like it'll fit some of them, but jungle trees no, and technically also not the other trees. Now there is a newer version of this mountain, but unfortunately, it was never meant to be. That version was only like meant to be because like I wanted to see what would happen if I made it into 1.13, but it never really did feel right. Over here is this like the farming equipment, so that like you could get like a ton of materials from here. Unfortunately, though, like you could get a ton of carrots and potatoes through it, but you can't get a lot of wheat. You can get a lot of wheat seeds, but you can't get a lot of wheat. And same thing with beetroot. You can only get a lot of beetroot seeds, but not beetroot. And then for pumpkin and melon, you have to use the axe, I think. And even then, like the pumpkin just gives you the pumpkin, and then the melon just gives you, I think, up to 9 slices, I think. So either way, it's fine. And you'll notice though that there is actually a barrier. There's actually a reason for that, and that's just because like all of these are like tall enough so that like you can go on top of this and you can go through to different ones. Let's say I wanted to go and observe the beetroot, or I wanted to do the AFK on the beetroot and then just do this and then just, oh, let me just go get a drink, or let me just go to the washroom real quick, and then while this is going on, while this is growing. And same idea with what this is actually supposed to be. This is supposed to be the AFK spot. So while you're sitting around here, everything else is growing. That's all it is. Over here is the nether wart area. Very, very specific. Over here is where you have the cocoa bean area and the cactus area. The cactus area is very tiny because the cactus is not really very well usable in a way. This was before I knew that like the cactus dye kind of thing was actually a really good way of getting experience for furnaces. Over here is the potion testing room, so you can spawn in chickens, and you can throw in like potions in there or whatever, and you can store like different kinds of things into these dispensers, and you can throw them on chickens just to see what they would do. And that's pretty much what this was. Yeah, test subject bait, yeah. And then if you go through like over to here, you'll get towards the rail system. This is where you would throw in nether wart, and it'll go all the way up until the not breeding room, to the brewing room. Sorry. Over here's the training room. So over here you have one of my old skin and a random Thor skin I found, and then you could just test it. This was an old test dummy thing. There's probably a lot better ones now, but like this was pretty much like what people would say is like the old but true way of doing it kind of thing. That's all that was for. And of course you could like ender pearl your way in here or not. And then here's the bow training room. So what you do is you pick up a bow. You use the painting. Since I'm in creative mode, it doesn't drop the painting. But what normally happens is that it'll drop a painting, and then what you do is you do this, which will lower them, so you can pick them up and then put them back. And then you grab the different versions. That's all that this was. Over here is the mob arena. Beware dexes. So over here is where you will find a ton of different mobs that'll actually spawn and will actually try to, kill you, of course. And there's supposed to be a sign that changes the difficulty. Here it is. So I could change it to hard difficulty through the click of that button. And there you go. Oh, I have mobs sound effects turned off for a reason. So I'll just turn this up to 50, and we'll turn this up to 50. And while this is going on, I could technically put a dispenser on the bottom area over here, just so that like it starts collecting items. I don't have that because, not because I didn't think of it, but because like, if you really want the stuff, you could just run around and pick it up. Like I could just do this. Since most of the mobs aren't going to be very aren't going to be very, like, curious about me. They're more curious about these guys. And you're supposed to have, like, jump boost so you can jump up. And there you go. Look at all the stuff that we got. We got 2 things of that. And for some reason, these guys keep spawning in here. But here's the little maintenance room. So, like, let's say, this one is broken because you changed to a different version of Minecraft. You just fix it by doing this, and then same idea with over here. Yeah. But how are these iron golems and snow golems being created? Well, there was a way, and it seems like the snow golems are more attracted to this area than anything else. Let's just go kill these guys real quick. These will actually spawn them in. Oh, looks like the magma cubes can't actually do it unless they're clipping through the walls. But yeah, that's what all this is for. It's mostly just to collect mob stuff. And we could just do that. And that's all this is for. Or if you want, you can kind of just let these guys do their own thing, and you can start fighting them yourselves to get some combat training or whatever. Yeah, here's the snow golem drops, and here's the iron golem drops. Yeah. As I am going around here, I'm just remembering just building all this stuff and just being amazed by what I've built so far. It's amazing. I just want to grab a chest real quick just so I can empty out the inventory of this stuff. There we go. Perfect. And no, I'm not moving that to the recent version because it just doesn't make sense. Over here is the original library area. This is like a tiny little maze area, which is very, very cool. I liked it. I like doing this crazy kooky design. It was really nice. And then creating these little like pocket areas. I loved it a lot. And I think there is an area in here where there's an enchanting table, maybe? Nope. It's just a little reading area. That's all it is. It's very nice. Here's a little silo where you can store wheat and stuff like that. That was more of like just as a design. And I don't think there's anything in here, right? Yeah, there's nothing in there. Okay. And that's pretty much all of the basement area. There's nothing really too much here other than like, some hidden secret stuff that we're going to go through all of that in due time, pretty much. So now that we're done all the downstairs area, we're now going towards the top area. And why am I hearing sound effects? Friendly creatures never got turned off. I think I turned off blocks and that was why. Anyway. So up here, we'll go down this hallway, then go down the rest of it. Over here is the main storage room. So this has, well, this would be barrels. This wouldn't be shulkers anymore. But this is a auto sorting chest. You can already kind of tell what items are going in where based off of just looking at it. The only thing is like the lava bucket is not meant for lava buckets. It's just for everything else. That's all that is for. And over here is the more useful kind of animals that you would want to have food of. So like this is just mainly for potion ingredients because rabbit's foot creates I think the potion of leaping. We also have the sheep. One of them is supposed to be the Jeb one, and either it broke or I got rid of it for some reason. And over here we have the chickens, of course, and we have cows. Now I do have spawners in here, but that's just because like sometimes they clip through the. Some of them just die for some odd reason. So yeah. And over here we have a mushroom. Now the mushroom has a really cool mechanic where you can actually have like if you have an empty bowl, you can just right click it and get mushroom stew, and it's infinite food. So doghouse. So this was actually a very interesting thing that I kept doing when I was building mountains and such, where I would create a giant room, and it was always. I mean, now it's not really as beautiful as it was before, but like a big room for no apparent reason, but to just have a dog in it. Like it was just weird. Then over here is a little cat room. Very nice. Uh, there's its like water bowl, even though that's a very huge water bowl, food bowl. And then this one is I think just for baths and stuff. I think, and then that's the litter box. That's it. Over here we have a similar design of the water and food bowl. A little area over here just so it can wash itself, and a little doghouse. And that's this area. And this is the television room. I always liked this painting because it kind of looks like you turned on like the TV and you got like a random kung fu movie, which I thought was really cool. So I've always tried to do that if I ever wanted to like to have a TV kind of thing. And this is the brewery. So this is the newer one. So as you can see, like this is I messed it up. Okay. There we go. And then so like you would go brew your potions here, and then let's say you need more nether wart. Oh, by the way, this is the infinite water thing specifically for water bottles. I'll show it off when I need to go do extra stuff. Leads upstairs. The command block room. So like if you wanted to have to activate different commands, here you go. This would be toggle weather to be whatever, or this would be like slash weather or whatever. Just in this one, you can do slash toggle downfall, and then it'll rain or snow depending on the biome. Same thing with all these. And if you wanted to do maintenance of it, you have this. So yeah. Or if you wanted to change the control, like the commands, you can. Over here is the nether room. You have two. Oh, do you have one portal now? I guess I got rid of the other one. And over here is the small vault, just a small little storage area. It's very colorful. And here's my room, of course. Very nice. Very cool. And over here was something that I created pretty early on. I was really proud of this. I didn't look up a tutorial at all. I just ended up just trying to figure out why this would work, and then I got it to work one time. It was really cool. And then you can store like whatever you want is valuable, and then leave, and then it was so cool. I love doing that. Upstairs again. So this was a pretty cool like little lobby area. So what I originally did was I was going through this entire area in creative mode still. But what I was doing was I was going through the entire like I was going through the entire wool line, and I was going to put like white and then orange and then magenta and then so on and so forth all the way throughout here. Like all the way throughout this line, and then going towards the next line, continuing this trend. So like if this ended off with, let's say, light blue, yellow was here, and then continuing on that trend. And then later on, I gave up as easily as I do normally for this kind of stuff. And all I did was that I ended up just randomly going around and just randomly throwing in like yellow here and there, and then trying to go through all the colors. And then whatever was left over, I tried to make sure I filled it with a color that wasn't uh, as apparent in that area. So it was really good. And then when glazed terracotta came out, I thought that I could change the idea and actually put in the glazed terracotta instead. So that's exactly what I did. I changed it to fit the glazed terracotta now. And I find that the glazed terracotta looks a little bit better, although most of the stuff doesn't really look as good, but it's fine. It's a lot better than just me having random stuff in here. Then as soon as I started using these glazed terracottas, I started putting in these little pillars just to, again, because this was all open, it looked too big. So I decided to put these pillars in this wall here just to kind of make it smaller, kind of thing. We're going to go through this hallway last. So over here is the main dining room. Very simple. These are actually stairs. They're not actually full blocks. And then here's a little hallway. I don't know why I built that hallway, but I did. I think I wanted to put a room over here, but that never really could stick. And then that staircase that leads up here, this is where it leads you to. Very cool. Here is the watchtower. So you could like go up here and you can see outside. And you can actually turn off the lights too. So if you want to make sure like it's like nobody can see that you're in here, that's what this is for. Over here is the main kitchen area. So I ended up changing this one from the downstairs one over to here, and I ended up just going very crazy with the fact that like everything needs to be this way. So that was really cool. There's another chef guy over there. Yeah, very, very crazy. And here's the guest rooms. They're all pretty much identical. The only difference is probably some of the placement of items. So like the beds right here is on the right hand side, whereas the bed on this side is on the... Oh, it's still on the right hand side. Okay, never mind. That was the left hand side. Anyway, yeah. And same idea with this. They're identical, so... That's weird. That shouldn't be there. That shouldn't be there. Maybe I messed up somewhere. Yeah, okay, maybe I messed up somewhere. Anyway, that's fine. Over here is where you have the transport area. So transported goods. So like if anything gets transported in here, you'd you put it in here. And let's go outside for a little bit because now we get to talk about this area. Over here is my creative mode sleeping area because I always hanged around back here kind of thing, and I always got sick and tired of having to go back to the bedroom area kind of thing and then sleeping, so I just ended up building this. This creates light, so in case you need to actually create light because it's too dark in the room, you can just do that really quick. Over here is the pig room. This used to be the prison area, but yeah, change it into the pig area. And then over here is the prison area. This has moved 3 times. So that original fishing area was actually the prison area until I made the fishing area. And then this had to be moved. So this got moved to up here where the pigs are. And then when I wanted to create a pig room because pork chops, and there was they were gonna add something to pigs. I can't remember what it was, so I changed this to a pig area, and then I moved the prison area down here. So up here is the transportation center. This will take you all the way up until a very tall floor. We're not gonna do that. Over here is where most of the transported goods come from. So over here, as you could clearly see here, so when an item comes in, it would come in through here, it would stop on this, and it would be transported here. You can already see that some of the items have been transported in here. And then when you're ready to go, you click this button. The whatever minecart would just shove itself around here. And down here is when you would have the computers that would tell you that something is going out or in or whatever. So I can't remember what the signs are now because it's been years since I've worked on this. I'm pretty sure one of the signs means that something is coming, you're expecting no shipments, and that there might be a shipment. So I think this means that there should be no shipments today. I think... Oh, no, wait, this one's not... Let's move. This one means that there might be a shipment today, and this one means that there should be a shipment today. Or reverse the will and not. But definitely the one that you should be expecting is definitely correct. So let's go all the way up to the top. We're going to go through this. Because this room exists. So, there is actually a piston in here. That will actually lead to a command block. This will actually turn it to day. So that's that. Also, there's some command signs in here. I don't think they really do anything, right? Oh yeah, they just like hide the command block so it doesn't like spam the chat kind of thing around. Okay, I'll talk about this later because I don't know when that game came out, but I think I might have come up with the idea before it was even out. Not quite sure. So over here is where you would actually come out of if you actually took the rail. Don't worry, we will actually go through the rail. So over here is something that is a joke me and my friends used to create, which was the Squid Research Lab. Now this isn't as big as I would want it, but it's fine. So what you do is you put squids in here, and what you do is you'd observe their behavior. Now these computers are supposed to observe like the temperature, the water pressure, like anything like that kind of thing, just to make sure that the squids are living happily, and you do research on them. It was just a really weird thing for us to do. Then over here is just a little break room. And over here is the diplomacy room. So like you would like sit at the head and then you'd have like different people in a giant eating area. It's very nice. Over here is a giant vault area. And if you were unsuspecting where you didn't know what's going on, you would enter through here thinking it's the room and you'd be dead. And I think this is probably where, yeah, that's where that error came from. Oops. But yeah, that's the top area. Again, this was created relatively like this was like I don't want to say recent, but this was like one of the last things I did in the version that I was mostly working on, which was 1.8. The reason why was because there was a mod called Too Many Items, and that was the mod that I was using to pretty much spawn in items and create these overpowered enchanted items with. And later on, I just ended up just stopped caring about it, and then I actually switched to 1.9. Okay, so here's something that's actually very interesting. I came up with a game mode that I could use for this mountain because it was so big and so spacious. Was that there would be a person that was using this area as a murder ground, and there was a bunch of innocent people trying to get a signal out to pretty much say that, like, hey, we're in danger, kind of thing. Like you'd click that, and there should be a beacon, and that pretty much just tells someone, hey, there's people in here, and there's a murderer. We need rescue, kind of thing. And when I was starting to hear about a game called Among Us, I didn't think like, hey, they stole my idea, because I never actually got it to be fully there, pretty much. Like I never fully got it, but like it's one of those things where, hey, that sounds like a lot of like my idea that I came up in 1.8, which was probably not that long ago. While I'm pulling it up, I will take a look. Yeah, let's go take a look and see if I can find it. So yeah. So over here is the whole mechanic. Pretty much what the whole thing is that there was supposed to be a specific item that is supposed to get rid of a lever or that allows you to like break blocks in here. And what happens is that the beacon is turned off, of course. The beacon is turned off, of course. And what happens is that the murderer has placed a lever somehow. Oh no, it's turned on. And so whenever you would normally do this, oh no, you have to find out where the lever is. So you have to find a tool that'll break it. And not only do you have to find a tool that'll break it, but you also have to make sure that the killer doesn't know that you're up here pretty much. So that's pretty much what that was. I thought it was a really fun little thing I could do with this. And I'm glad that I got to show it off though. Let's see, what was Minecraft 1.8? It was the latest one. It was Minecraft 1.8.8. Another for the fact because that was the final time that too many items was there, and then it said that the mod creator wasn't working on it anymore and has no plans on working on it any further. So, yeah. But Minecraft 1.8 came out in 2014. So we'll say about 2015 that idea came around. Wow, that takes me back of just thinking about it. Over here is a little like trophy room. Sorry, that scared me a little bit. I thought the actual dragon head was moving because I was like, that doesn't have redstone attached to it. And then over here leads you to like a little secret pool area. Looks very nice. For a lot of the secret areas, I'll just use spectator mode, so it'll be much easier to find them. And here's the guards' quarters. Got to put some security in here too, because it's a pretty big area. I thought there was another room up here. And over here was a actual nice looking area. This was actually one of the last things I actually ended up doing because you'll find out why. So over here will lead you up until this upper area, which is very good. Over here is condensed storage. So this was actually a very interesting idea that I saw somebody on a server doing. They got rid of a giant chunk of land. They did it by hand. And I think now what they would probably end up doing is using TNT instead because it has a 100% return rate for it. But what they would do is that they would grab these minecart with chests, fill it up with a bunch of items, and would throw it into a 3x3 container, pretty much. And what happens in that 3x3 container is that all the minecart with chests would be in there, and they would stay in there. And he would sell off a bunch of the different areas that a bunch of the different blocks that he would mine in there. So like dirt, grass, if he had a silk touch tool, stone, cobblestone, that kind of thing. And he would sell them on the side and get money from that server kind of thing. Like it was a very cool idea, so I ended up doing it for that. That was a really interesting idea. Over here's a small little storage room. Very nice. Over here is the planter room, so like potted plants. That's what this area is. A walk-in freezer, so you walk in, you freeze whatever you need to, and then you walk your way out. Over here is the water supply, so like this is where your water would come from, out of in every area kind of thing. Over here's the water checker, so you check like if it's like clean water. If it's not, you need to clean it, and all that other stuff. Here is the random room. So there's no way of actually getting in here, apparently. Very strange. I thought there was. So here's shulkers. Here's like, I don't know. This is mostly just me messing around with 1.12 stuff. Yeah, that's all that was. And over here is just a bunch of arrow supply boxes, so that you can have archers here that are ready to fire on everyone. And that's pretty much all of the stuff that's pretty much here. That's all the main rooms. Now let's go towards the secret rooms now. There are a decent chunk of them, and there is a few of them that can be accessed through many of the beginning areas. Oh no, I wanted to show off the Minecraft chest thing for here. So as you'll know, like in the brewing area, we shoved a Minecraft chest, and oh, it got stuck somewhere in the middle of the track. That's fine. I did fill it up after I moved it, so it's probably just stuck somewhere. Anyway, now that we're in spectator mode, we're able to actually see everything. So let's go and see it. So this was a 2x2 seamless piston door that I ended up finding a YouTube tutorial about. So I was able to use that for my own thing, which was pretty cool because a friend of mine ended up designing one for me, and it worked pretty well until we updated the Minecraft version to the next one. So like we'll say 1.5 to 1.6, and it ended up breaking. So I ended up looking up this, and so far it's worked. So nothing really too much wrong with that. If we go over to the horse stables, you'll see that there's an extra area underneath here. This is just an extra exit, just in case anything bad happens. But I think I got rid of this in the later version, and this ended up becoming where I would store all the, or this was probably beforehand, where I would store all of the signs for like the terracotta and stuff like that. And as you can see, though, the mushrooms are growing. Very cool. So as I said, there's a bunch of hidden stuff, so let's go through them. Over here is a lever. There is a total number of 7 of these levers. We'll go through them when we can. These levers actually lead to the vault. The vault area, which is below this. Nope, above it. And it's over here. Is where you would store the valuables. Now, here's diamond, emerald, lapis lazuli, iron, and gold. And chests that have a bunch of these said items. There you go. There's 7 of these levers, as you can probably have already can tell by all of this stuff. That's why there's a bunch of levers around. And there is one that tells you like where all the switches are. So there's one on the 4th floor. I think that's what this one is. Yeah, so like if you go through this sign, here's a lever, click it, and all that. We'll go through all that later. Let's just go through all the other secret rooms. So obviously there's the teleport room, which is supposed to be you're only supposed to be allowed in here whenever you use one of those buttons. But again, I am too scared to actually go and use those buttons. So here's where everything is: diable blocks, entrance, generator, teleport hub, and all that stuff. And over here is the maintenance for those. So each and every one of these will lead you to one of the very many rooms. And as you can clearly see, they are all there. So, yeah. I think this has all of them, does it not? Does it have all of them? Because I saw one of the hidden areas on there. I saw one of them. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any other ones. Obviously, like if you were if that like special game mode was here, I would obviously have this room kind of disabled because it would kind of defeat the purpose if you could actually just teleport into here and go into all the rooms, right? So kind of defeat the purpose. So when you're in the command room, what you can actually do is you can actually go through the sign, and you can go through this sign, and you can go through this area, which will lead you down these stairs, which will lead you outside. Now, outside, you have this area, which I was watching a Minecraft series where they had a cool little forge, like people were making cute little forge areas because of Tinker's construct. So I thought that I would build something kind of like that. So I came up with this, and it looks really, really nice. And then down here, you could probably already tell, I ended up building a bunch of different shulker stuff. So yeah. And over here is another little watchtower, and this is another storage room. Yay! Another watchtower over here. All right. And those are all like sort of semi-active stuff. So there was a server that used to use items like this, or not items, but like used to use stuff like this, and they called them like generators. And so what would happen is that you can make it into a simple area that has to be powered up by one of these. And yeah, this is the core. So pretty much what ended up happening is that if you wanted, let's say, these items, like the glowstone, to be powered, so like instead these would be like redstone lamps, but you don't want to generate a line of redstone to it. What you can do is you can have this sort of just generate little power lines kind of thing inside the block, and actually being able to go into those sort of lights. So obviously you wouldn't go spamming glowstone blocks every which way like I'm doing here, but you put them into different areas. And I have a total number of 7 of these, I believe. I can find out if I can get there quickly enough. So the video is not that long. Every time I feel like doing a video of this area, it always is always like an hour long. Let's see here. Oh, that's nothing. Okay, it's probably just a teleport thing to here. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5. Okay, maybe there's maybe there's more. I don't know. Anyway, so like there's different versions of it. So obviously we have the main core over there. There's a tiny one over here. There is. Let's see if we can find any other ones. They're over here. Oh wait, yeah, there is. Over here is a tiny one, and over here is a pretty huge one that also leads you to a storage room. I'm not gonna get out of spectator mode. I'm just gonna quickly use it. So over here, beside the core area is this one? Yes. Is a little bar area in the library. I thought it would be a little cute thing to do is like in the bar, like in the library. So like if you were to tell like your significant other, hey, I'm going to the library, they'd be like, okay, and then you're actually in the library, but literally there is a secret compartment that will lead you to a bar. I thought it would be really like an amazing idea, and here's where it got stuck. Yay, I fixed that into the later version, but obviously this one is an older one, so it doesn't actually get fixed. Anyway, so this is one of the major cores. There's the tiny one over there. I don't think there's any other like hidden rooms. I think it's mostly just like the other like vault areas. Yeah, I think that's mostly just it. Yeah, I think that's mostly just it. It's just all the vault switches. Oh wait, yeah. Here's the little bunker. So like, it's encased in what do you call it? What do you call it? It's encased in bedrock. And so what happens is that like if somebody were to try and blow up the entire thing, this would be completely safe. And over here is the big core area. So these are, according to what that server would call them, is these slow generators, which generate very little amount of power, but they would actually last a lot longer. And plus, they were they were cheaper too, which ends up saving you a lot of money later on. So I was able to actually like keep getting them pretty much. Yeah, so here's this little area. Lots of redstone for just such a tiny area. And then even though there's no way of getting up here without having an ender pearl, I still put a bed up here apparently. Very weird. All right, so let's go over here because I know I have one over here. I think it's down here, right? Yeah. Okay. So we have a little book here called Volt Switches. So now if we right click it, it'll tell you which ones are which. So storage. So since we're here, we're going to do the storage tower because that's exactly where we are. There it is. So now we've disabled the one in the storage tower. Which is the basement one? Stained clay. Got it. All right, so basement one is down here. Let's see here. So we go library. Nope. Wool. Clay. We go to this one. Disable the switch. Now we go to my room. Oh, wrong area. Up here. Change link up here. We go to my room, which is around this area. Go through here. Right click. Also, there's also a secret thing here too. Just leads you to armor. That's all it does. And then that area that I have for the that condensed storage leads you to here. So that's where all the items will be deposited. And this also has something too. What is this? Oh, it's just an extra items. So if I die, I can just still grab items. And this has nothing, right? Yeah. I know it's very simple, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care that much. The only thing that I really care about is the fact that like it was there. I just wanted to have something there. I know the lobby has one. I mean, if the lobby has one, it'd be here. Yep. Okay. The lobby had one. The dining room also has one. The dining room one is... so before, there was only 4 switches. I think it was the... I know it was my room, the dining room, maybe the stained clay in the storage tower. Because those are the only ones I can think of. Or maybe there's only 3. I don't remember. But pretty much what I ended up doing was that I was making like a butler, like a thief kind of thing, and was stealing money from from their master. Oh wait, I forgot about this. Yeah, this is the jumping room. Because this is all slime blocks. I thought it was a pretty cute thing to put in there. Let's see here. So over here, it's this one. Turn that off. Is that everything? Checked. Yep. So now the storage room is now open. And something that I was also thinking of doing was that like I could have like the storage room like be locked, and there'll be like 3 switches, but it's always random. And what the 3 switches would be is that I missed one. What did I miss? Actually, wait, did I even enter my rooms? Oh, wait, no, it's just a delay. Okay. Yeah, it's just a delay. because it has to travel through like large tunnels and stuff like that for the farther ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this entire area. Let's see if there's actually anything else that I can think of by going through Spectator. I don't think so. I think I've gone through this entire area. As I said, in the newer one that I was working on, I made the Squid Research Lab like far bigger, uh, big enough like I did in a different island. Pretty much, I made this bigger with a bunch of the different mobs, and of course, that also meant that the iron golems pretty much ended up not working properly. Because apparently you cannot make spawn eggs of the iron golems anymore, which was one of the major problems for it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this entire mountain. I'm not really seeing anything, and I don't remember anything new here. So again, yeah, like Minecraft 1.13 had a different version. All it pretty much was that I was able to I expanded the island a little bit, and I ended up creating like a different farm area over here that had a giant tower, and that tower had pretty much all of the farms in it, and it also had the what's it called? It also had a kelp farm as well. And I also got rid of the old farm area down here, and I placed like the armor display room and a bunch of the tiny rooms pretty much. I think I also moved the stone, cobblestone, the stone, and the obsidian generator down here as well. So I pretty much just ended up moving everything down here. It was insane. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything in here. There's nothing really too much else going on in here. So yeah, so pretty much like this pretty much drained completely every idea I ever had in Minecraft. And I just got sick and tired of building in Minecraft from building this. And even like the newer version, I got sick and tired of it like every 2 minutes pretty much. I would get an idea for something and then I'd be like I put down the first block and I'd be like, do I really want to do this? And then the room is done and I'd be like, I don't feel like doing it anymore. Then I quit and I go do something else. Then I come back and I'll be like, I have a new idea. Then I build it. And then, yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You get to understand why I stopped kind of building new stuff though. Like compared to what this looks like compared to what this looks like, I'm actually glad though that I ended up starting to rebuild my method of building, because if you compare this to what Voracle looks like and what Rosaria base looks like compare them. And this is also Minecraft 1.12 as well, so this is what I saw as the last thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to move this over to 1.19, just so that we get to actually see what it looks like. So I'm going to be right back. All right, so now that I've actually moved it over to 1.19, as you can probably tell, 1.19. All right, let's see what it looks like. I'm not noticing a difference. Yeah, I'm not noticing a difference here. Yeah, what the? Oh, is it because? Wait, hang on a second. So my Minecraft has been doing weird things where I have to put the programmer art inside. Is that the reason? Or no? No, it doesn't look like it. So I have to use programmer art because for some odd reason. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell because the glowstone definitely looks different. Oh, I'm gonna go turn off the audio, especially for friendly creatures and for hostile creatures. They're gonna be annoying. Because if I go to here, oh now it doesn't do it. That's weird. Okay, because Voracle has been giving me issues about that, like in that one world, as I'll show off really quick. Yeah, like this. Wow. This area looks really, really nice, actually. Will it bring me back? Absolutely not. But it does look really, really nice. I really like it. I remember trying to figure out like a color palette for that, and I just ended up going with the sandstones. Oh, so amazing. I guess they didn't change stone brick that much or something, or maybe they upscaled it. I'm not quite sure because it doesn't really look like it's changed at all. Yeah, nothing really too different about this area that much. I know the big dramatic thing is like up here kind of thing. You'll definitely tell a big difference. Oh yeah, this area looks a ton better. All right, yeah. So that's pretty much this mountain. I ended up naming it Mount Ridge Dam. Not for any specific reason, just thought it would look really cool, or it sounded very nice and very cool. Yeah. So I'll see you guys next time for the next channel anniversary, pretty much. So yeah. So I'll see you guys next time for some more channel anniversaries.